from my side, and thank you very much for the possibility to talk and to present some results here from a German ongoing experiment. I hope you can see the slides. This is joint work from my colleagues and me. I'm at the German Institute for Economic Research in Berlin, and this is just an ongoing experiment, not funded by the federal taxpayer, but by the civil society. And well, there's also a long discussion in Germany about UBI, and but there, as we have a similar situation as in Finland, we have an existing well-developed welfare state in Germany with a long tradition of 150 years. And there has a UBI would be really a system change. And because this would, in the existing system, you have you have the obligation to help yourself and your family to get along and to solve your problems. But currently in our parliament we have no political party who is promoting such a system. But we have a transition currently. We will introduce a so-called citizen income that is means tested starting next year, and this just came through the parliament. But so talking about UBI in Germany, there is about 50% of the population is in favor in general and could think of introducing such a system, but to test a UBI, we need at the moment so-called social entrepreneurs who just try whether a UBI works. And the idea, and this idea has been introduced by an association, the Berlin-based association Mein Grundeinkommen. They started since 2014 to give just randomly people who enroll voluntary and registered to get a basic income of 1,000 euros per month unconditionally for a period of 1 year. And they are very successful. More than 1,300 people up to now got just such a possibility of 1 year unconditional basic income, and all groups are covered for people, and the funding is based by the so-called crowdhounds from the civil society and by crowdfunding to finance that experiment. And in sum, you have about 15 million euros that this association has redistributed in the last 6 years. So the idea I want to talk about is a scientific pilot project to find out whether by a randomized control study, whether such a basic income given to the middle class, and that is our focus group, how they will behave. And so we took the idea of that social entrepreneurs and their financing stuff, and selected a group of 122 of the so-called treatment group, and they will get a basic income of 1,200 euros for the period of 3 years. And we will want to find out whether this will make a difference and whether some stereotypes will fulfill, that they will get lazy or lay off their job, for example. So what we did, we started in August 2020 with the recruitment of that experiment in Germany, and about 2 million individuals have been recruited and enrolled to participate. And from that huge group, we took 20,000 individuals for a baseline study with an online that started in March 21. And from this, we selected the participants of 1,500. And of those 1,500, 122 have been now the treatment group with the first payment of 1,200 euros per month since 2021. And we have a control group of 1,380 that don't get the payment, but are statistical twins to those 122. So as I said already, we are focusing, we cannot get rid of the existing welfare system. So we look into the group who are not part of getting benefits, means tested benefits. We go to the threshold above. That means people in the age group of 21 to 40, one person households, and 1,200 to 2,600 euros. And then on top, you get the 1,200 euros per month. So this is the design of our study. We have 6 waves of the study where we have online surveys every 6 months. And we just finished the survey and the focus wave 2. That means we have now, with a baseline study, 4 waves to look whether they have differences between the control group and the treatment group. And we will present preliminary results and publish preliminary results next August with those 4 waves. The study will end in June 24, and you can expect the final report in autumn 2024. So I still don't have results of that study. I can just talk about the research topics of our experiment. In the Finnish study, also we are looking on time and labor and the labor force participation, and on what do they do with the 1,200 euros given on top, and so what kind of consumptions they use. Do they save the money? Do they use it for their own individual investment, or what? Or do they travel? So this is an open question we want to find out. And of course, we are not only looking on objective indicators, but also on a rich set of individual psychological traits and well-being, and also social and political engagement. That means, what do they do with their time if they get additional safety net? So what the study really can find out, this is just the scope of individual changes in behavior and in attitudes in all areas of life, more or less. And of course, we will focus in the first set of results on individual effects on labor supply and job choice. And of course, what we and from those findings, we expect that we can improve and derive better calculations for financing models, also of a broader UBI. So that is just a little piecework of a puzzle for the discussion for the overall discussion of UBI. And I want finish with my last slide and to emphasize that we should not overemphasize the findings of such a randomized control group, because we will not find out any effects of long-term basic income payments above those 3 years. That is usual disclaimer. And of course, we have randomized individuals, so effects in neighborhoods we will not cover with our study. And of course, we will not find out whether introducing a UBI will have effects on production and consumption, and also on taxes that are required for financing such a system. And of course, also whether UBI will have changes in migration flows, either in inflows to a country, or for those who have to finance UBI of outflows of migration. So those other issues I want to emphasize again, it's just a small puzzle and contribution, but it's based on a research design in a scientific, quantitative research setting. So thank you very much, and I'm happy to participate in the discussion. Thank you very much.